should I turn the power off when the meeting's over, or?
If you feel like crawling under the table.
Well, if it's okay to just leave it on, I'll leave it on.
Just
It's
leave
okay
it
to leave it
on.
on.
All right. Okay, so, we all set up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teresa, that's, I didn't think of you.
No, you didn't, but
The
I'm
power.
charged.
I did though.
Oh, did
There's a plug that's on that wall that I think you can reach,
Dave,
or we can put it under the table.
I'll
and grab
reach it
I'm
out.
fully
Because I didn't set everything up in room 2 because.
I do.
Okay, all right.
So
Okay.
go down and double check, make sure it's still set.
Okay, thank you.
You can get you a power strip.
No, I think, like I said, I'm fully charged, it's supposed to last a couple hours at least, and I can plug in there if I need to.
Okay.
Thank you.
But still, I think we've got a short, like 3-foot power cord that power up.
Okay.
You know, we
Yeah.
can, give you to carry around with you.
Well, we can go under the table, or we can go over there, Dave, on your left.
Yeah. Just trying to make life easy for everyone.
Yeah, there's one right over there.
Okay. You should be all set to go. We've got room 2 set up and ready to go. I'm gonna be doing that from home. Only because Jim and I tried hosting 2 different meetings, one up here, one down there, at the same time, and it's like, it's too confusing.
Yep, I agree.
Something we hadn't considered when we built it, but we could, in the future, put up some small, like cubicle walls or something, and some baffling sound dampening sponge on the wall facing room 2, because you can hear people talking on both sides of that wall. You gotta be loud about it, but you can hear people talking.
Isn't the plate where there is styrofoam on it now?
Yeah, where that silver-backed stuff is. So that's down the road a piece.
All right, my friend.
Okay. Have fun.
Thank you, I appreciate the help.
Try and stay out of trouble. Or at least stay out of jail. Have a good evening. Oh, wait a minute. Did I confuse things or not?
Is there an agenda?
She might have put it on the table, I think. I know she printed some up. Is
You
it
were
on the
right
corner
there.
there?
Thank you.
I don't think I'm gonna point them out.
I highlighted those and handed it to her. So
Oh.
she's-
So picked up on, so it's all right.
You guys have a meeting after this? Okay.
Yes, we do.
Anything good on your agenda?
Well, we just need to talk about some stuff that's coming up and, it's an open meeting.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I was just,
Rhonda?
I know, I probably will. Well, I don't know, cause I'm gonna stay in this one, so.
Oh.
You guys will be done before these guys are in here. I'm sure.
Teresa, did you get my email about the van?
Yeah, just speak to you. Because I had talked to Ross.
I'm talking about the alarm. You were talking about the alarm? On one of the alarms on the vans, it keeps on going on.
Oh, no, there's no. We just brought it back from the shop too. No, the one, maybe it wasn't the new, the one I must remember reading was about the, what are we gonna do in the winter?
That's my first. It turns out we paid for out of another account. This money is still left over. Not restored. So this line is improved to my satisfaction. Yeah, this is what happened. It's just a big contract. We took it from dealership and
All of it will be transparent and explained, because I gotta explain to myself as well.
well, that's what, the thing is it's my understanding that Comcast, I don't know if they do it monthly or quarterly, but there should be some mechanism somewhere where you can see the age of what Comcast is giving us.
They've not
And
been
then
able to
compare
find
that
that.
to whatever character
That letter.
the difference is
I think it is.
what's important.
Okay.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm well, and yourself?
Good.
Oh, is that one? Okay. That's what I thought, I wasn't sure.
I sent you an email today.
Yeah, no, I didn't, my husband's on a long one, I've been at doctors all day, so I didn't receive it.
Expect that you have to respond, I'm just saying, if you have a chance.
Yeah.
It's a press release, and the questions, do you want, you okay for it, out, and two, if you wanna mention you as the source.
I put it over there.
Oh, you put it over there?
Been gone for 2 weeks, how'd you do anything?
Worked my butt off for you, Joe.
Betty wants Chris to your camera for you.
I know. Always gotta make improvements. I'm in here with a TV camera one of these days, you know, those big.
You have to start charging you for the electricity there.
You know, one of those that has the arc, you can come over and I can come right over.
So is it
and-
gonna be HD?
Huh?
HD?
Oh,
High
definitely.
definition?
Oh, yeah, this is HD already, yeah.
You've been notified today that something hooked up off the road, took out windshield on engine one.
Ooh.
That won't be cheap.
That's the main issue.
Yeah. Did you get notified today, engine one got a broken windshield?
I did. They needed insurance forms and
So I helped them walk them through it, make sure they got done, get a glass company lined up for them, so we can do sure.
how that happened.
I think a rock kicked up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't happen a lot more, especially with them big flat windshields. Them are bad.
Yeah. I know my Jeep is that way, it picks up every bugger.
Yeah, in the front, cool, yeah, flat. Oh. Terrible, terrible.
I was standing next to it when that ran shit in my wife's car. First I just go look at my Jeep, not her car.
Yeah, we ain't worried about her now. Jeep's gotta be, make sure it's not broke. They took in that storm that I was here, this tree across the street broke, a big tree, the top of it, took the wires right off the pole, right to the house, cleaned them up that fast.
Really?
Yeah. 3.5 hours later, they had the power back up. But all good. They said it got really bad up there. Windy, like one of them storms.
Came down, yeah, and it was very localized, cause people the other side of the lake or the other lakes, nothing.
No. We had them the other night, it was Saturday night. I get up Friday night to Saturday night. And it says, let's just go, there's a beautiful Alton, Meredith. Yeah, Alton and Wilkesboro, the sun was perfect. Meredith, out in black skies, and we just drive down towards Alton. So we drove into Alton, and all of a sudden the storm follows. We're gonna go
Well,
have
that's
dinner.
great.
Went in for dinner, came out, rain stopped, we were good. What did I just do wrong? So we got all those reports you said, you're sending to me?
I can send them to you if you want, if I can
I'm
want to
just
print
like
them,
to
you want
read
to print them?
Yeah,
Or
if you can
they're
print
like-
them.
They're like 50 pages
Oh,
each.
yeah, so let's print them. Sabrina can do that for us, right? And then I'd just like to see what, being there, what the difference of wording would be. That's fine?
I mean, there's a lot of boilerplate in them, but.
Yeah, well, they would be standard, they were saying, just the things that they really found that might be an issue.
Okay, Hartley, we're ready.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, stand by.
Recording in progress.
Good evening. Tonight is July 16th, 2024.
This is the selectmen's, meeting. And, I'd like to call the meeting to order. A roll call, please.
Teresa A. Moss present.
Joe Shane present.
Chad Sexton Duranian present. And join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank all our veterans, past and present, and those in current service, and our first responders. Thank you for your service. The meeting is going to be recorded and uploaded to YouTube afterwards. Is anybody else recording?
Yep.
There's somebody recording in the audience. Chairman's additions and deletions. I do not have any. You do or you don't?
I do know.
I know.
1.5, review and approve the meeting minutes. Have you had a chance to look them over, both?
Yes, I have.
So, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for 6/4, 6/14, and 6/18/2024.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Do I have to abstain for the one I was absent?
I'll amend that. I have a couple of spelling things that I'll point out to you afterwards, so you can approve them for, we'll approve for, with the amendments. There's a couple of misspelled words, nothing that's wordsmith. So all those in favor?
Teresa A. Moss, yes.
Thank you.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes. Um, 6:02. We're a little early, but are you guys all set? All right, so we can take this early. This is 2.1, joint meeting with the Historic District Commission. This is in regards to a letter that was sent by myself, the chair. The couple of things I wanted to point out. Number one is that I want to be very clear in regards to the reason why. I do want to say that I watched your last meeting, and the way in which you discussed the letter, I was kind of hoping you would read the letter because it gave exactly the intent of what it was, and it wasn't read. So if you don't mind, I want to read the letter that was sent. Dear Historic District Commissioners, I'm writing this today as our office has not been able to get any response to questions we have regarding Historic District Commission matters. I have been contacted by the State Ethics Commission regarding several pressing matters that they are looking into, and I feel that these matters need to be addressed immediately by this office. Therefore, we are emailing and sending hard copies to all HDC members we have on file. Hopefully we get some response to this request. We have received reappointment requests for 2 members which were not signed by the HDC chair or show any evidence of a vote by the commission to reappoint these commissioners. All matters of appointment by the select board must follow our town charter, and these requests do not follow this charter. A meeting of the HDC must be held with an agenda item listing the reappointments. The reappointment must be voted on and outlined in an approved meeting minutes by the commission, none of which has been submitted, which will hold up any reappointment by the select board at this time. There is also a question of board composition, which the town charter outlines in the following. And this is in the town charter. It's also taken right out of Mass Chapter. I don't have to read it because we'll probably talk over some of the points on it. It is understandable that the HDC is finding it difficult to find volunteers to sit on this commission. All boards and commissions are finding this difficult. By having members of both the Townsend Historic Society and the HDC go directly against the town charter, and has to be taken into consideration when the select board is approving a reappointment. Since the vision of the Historic Society has expanded in scope, the HDC must be held separate from that scope despite disclosures being filed. This is what the SEC is questioning, and as the appointing authority as outlined in the town charter, we would keep these entities separate. Therefore, we should only have one or at the most 2 members of both the HDC and Historic Society, and not a quorum as we currently have. This will cure any ethical questions that anyone should have about both entities in the event a controversial decision has to be made regarding matters with both entities. There has also been a request by a member to meet the town council on June 25th, 2024. Per the selectmen's policies and procedures, that request must come from the chair of the requesting commission and not from a member. Any members going in front of town council should potentially cost the town. So the select board has had this policy in place for several years now. We have requested approval via an email to the chair regarding this matter and still awaiting a response, awaiting for an answer. Without the chair's approval, this meeting should not move forward as a matter of policy. We also have been informed of several alleged open meeting law violations that pertain to discussions made by the chair on matters that should be voted on by the entire commission. Meeting minutes not being up to date, approvals not being sent in a timely manner, and discussions being held outside of an open meeting regarding commission matters. It is highly recommended that the commission refer to the Commonwealth's videos pertaining to the open meeting law and review this training to avoid a future violation. Your attention to this matter will be paramount. I do understand the importance of the Historic District Commission and have always held our historic buildings here in Townsend in high regard. In order to move forward, we will need a vote of the HDC and a meeting of the commission and reappointment paperwork signed by the chair before we can put any reappointments on the select board agenda. I also understand the difficulty in getting volunteers to assist in the goals of the HDC. Let's work together to achieve the goals of both the HDC and the town to make our community a much better place. I am always open to talk with you about any matter and have communicated this to our interim town administrator about ways we can improve our collaboration. We have several projects coming up that would require HDC input, and I trust that this commission can assist us with your expertise. The goal here is to work together as a village and not divided divided with separate agendas. So I guess the reason why I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page is that I sent this letter because I wasn't getting any information, and I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page.
Out of curiosity, what is the address that it was sent to for the chair?
It was sent to your town email.
I don't have it. I used to have a computer and et cetera, and.
That's the email address we have for the commission.
Well, it's rough time.
Okay.
I don't have it. It was probably well over a year.
Okay.
I spoke to, people from the computer operation and nothing happened. So,
Wasn't there a hard copy sent as well?
I don't know. Did you send a hard copy as well?
Yeah.
For the request? So that was mailed out as well. For the request. We were looking for a copy of the certificate of appropriateness for the fire station, and we are looking for the minutes that approved the certificate of appropriateness for the fire station, is what we were looking for.
I think what I need to say right now is if we could get a clear understanding of what it is I need, because we've done some of those things, like the appointment, the reappointment, the last time.
Well, we have the reappointments for now, yes, that's why I have the reappointments on the agenda.
That's straight.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we can send an email, send an email.
So to avoid this from happening again, can we ensure that email becomes active? Or
It's active. The email is active.
Well, we need to be sure they've got a computer to read it on, so. Is there someone else
Are you
accessing?
talking about an email to the HTC or to email specifically?
He's the chair, so it was, we sent it to the chair,
Well,
was
we
the.
have in our minutes from last year that you were gonna set up an email to the HTC so that the public could reach us.
I said I would look into it. I didn't say I was gonna set it up,
No, you
but
don't have
yes.
to set it up, of course. But, is that possible that we can get one so the communication can be like all the other commissions in town?
Right, there was an HTC email box that was set up, but it no longer is working, it was.
Elisa.
Right, right.
But we're talking about once we can look like we really are a municipal commission.
I believe that there's an HTC set up. Is there one in the system, Sabrina? Can you jump in and see real quick? I thought we did that like a year ago, or 2 years ago.
And if they did, if they were both of them, then they would have to have authentication available, because you can't get into those emails without authentication. Do they have the authentication account?
Eno has an account set up in the system that he can get onto the system.
But we want the HTC.
Yes, and the HTC is, to my knowledge, and I'll have to check on it, but it's attached to the chair's email address that's on.
But the chair isn't getting onto the email interface, so we need to figure out where to instruct how to get that done properly, because those don't appear to be, and I assume if we look at them, they haven't been open already. They might just be being sent to hyperspace.
No, I know they're going to the
It'd be up
mailbox.
to them to look at them.
Yeah.
Not
And-
us.
Somebody must have
About
to
the
instruct
physical-
We can't look at it,
anybody.
we'll look at it. We
Yeah,
can't.
I had to be instructed how to use the authenticator. We all as town have the same, but technology, it wanna, put two authentication levels on.
Is there a physical mailbox downstairs?
There should be. Do you guys have a mailbox downstairs?
Okay, so that should be the backup, is send an email with a backup to the physical mailbox downstairs.
So the email doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but if they send you a paper copy,
That's a different
somebody
story.
should be able to come in here.
Well, I never got a copy. I never got a letter. At all.
So let's,
Your letter actually was returned to us.
Oops.
where do you send it?
When did you send it? Well, that's where I live. So, you got me.
too, yeah.
Right.
So, we did.
Well, it doesn't say town of Maryland, it says plan. It says
I would
plan.
suggest that we, perhaps, like that in the system, certainly we're gonna comply with the request. We're gonna do the right thing.
Yeah, that's all, my main point is that when, the reason why I sent this letter is because I needed to have the certificate of appropriateness and I needed to have the minutes that were approved by the HDC to send into the other paperwork that I sent into the Ethics Commission. And, this all came because I, out of the blue, got a phone call, I got an email from Ross saying that the Ethics Commission wanted to talk to me. And when I called them, they just basically wanted the paperwork. So when the state asks for it, I put the paperwork together and send it out. So,
Whatever we need to do, we'll do that.
yeah.
Well, we turned in the certificate of appropriateness for the firehouse. So Janet must have it.
That was all done.
That's all done.
Filed.
Yeah, but I'm saying the Board of Selectmen never got it.
If you don't get it,
We send it.
Yes, we do, because we signed, we're the applicant to it.
well, then you could go downstairs and ask Janet about it.
We send it to Janet, Janet takes care of that and gives it to the building department. And then it goes back into the file and closes it. That's how it's been done.
Well, whoever signs or whoever applies for the certificate of appropriateness, do they get a copy of that, or just the building department?
You know, they should get a copy of that.
That's what I'm saying, I never got a copy of that
Did
either.
it come to the meeting?
Yeah, yeah, I was in the meeting, November 14th. I was at that meeting.
Nothing I can do about it now, except for recover.
Yep, no, and like I said, it's not, the intent of this letter is to make sure that we're all doing the right thing, that's the concern.
Well, it's on the building department that the owners that we did not get a copy. It's not on the historic district. The commission.
Well, if he's the person that applied, then, and you say you get a copy
But
back to the person,
Janet
the
should
board.
have notified you.
That
She
would
had
be, what about your
Oh,
minutes
no,
for
fine.
November 14th? Do you have minutes for November 14th?
Yeah.
Okay, and I requested that and what I had sent in. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not, this is not,
How did you request that?
It was sent in an email, I think.
Again,
Yeah, so, as a chair, do you have a smartphone? We'll have to figure something out for
Well,
you to be able to
you
get.
can use the
those
mailbox
emails.
downstairs.
We can use the mailbox downstairs.
If I can't have a
Okay.
email set up on the system, because I have no way to look at it, I don't see
But-
that, do it from home.
So have we confirmed if there is a email box to anybody yet? Do we know that?
No.
For a fact?
We don't.
Sabrina, does the historical, they do?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is
so
anybody monitoring that?
we had no idea it existed.
how do we monitor?
We had no idea.
How to get to it?
Well, you have a computer at the Reed Homestead, don't you?
That's right, I do.
So if there's a computer there, someone should be monitoring that email account.
But that's
That's
the
a-
historical
Can't
society.
get in without the
Not getting
authentication.
the same.
It's not the
That's different.
commission.
Two different things, Joe.
It's a different company.
And you should know that about anybody.
It's like Market Basket in Hannaford.
That's
You
right.
Send it to Hannaford.
But even if you could get it at the computer, you can't get in without the authentication, so you need to be, right,
So
we need
how do
to
we
make
get that?
sure you know how to get that application.
So, if one of you wants to be the recipient of the emails,
Mhm.
get us your phone number and we'll get you the account access and the authentication set up. In the meantime, we'll also make sure you have a physical box downstairs, so that anything we email you will be printed hard copy and put in the mailbox.
Well, we need,
Okay, so-
we need a place on the system.
Get on the phone, tap into the system.
So you need a phone number for the person who's gonna monitor the box. Is there a special paper that should go on, or can I just rip a page out of my notebook and give it to you?
With the
Samantha
name and
is-
the phone number, and we will get you an account access, I guess there's one that exists.
And then
One
someone
that
will
Is that
train me
email
on it.
currently set up as a group email to all members?
We can't do that.
You can't.
We can't do that. Security wise, we can't do
No,
that.
because that's the situation.
Yeah.
So, I don't have a question, if I'm using my personal information, am I protected from anything by the town? I'm gonna get into this with my email address at home, and correspondence to my private computer.
Yeah, you protect, well, it's all in a firewall, so yes.
Plus, I know my
It's-
account is set up with the town email, like we have for you, but you don't have the ability to get access it. And the town phone number, it's not my personal information.
Right.
I don't have a computer or a chair to sit on.
Okay, but other members in your group do, so we'll get,
We'll get it taken care of.
provide access to the email, as I said, we'll have the physical box downstairs, and anything that's emailed to you will get printed and put in the physical mailbox.
So,
Joe?
again, we need to just look forward, get the solution to this.
I check that
and move
at least
forward.
every 2 days, to see if there's anything that can.
So I guess the key is to make sure that the HTC website is up to date with everybody's current email addresses, so that when we send something out, we can send it to everybody, so everybody gets it. I think that would be the big thing.
Now, can they, I'm sorry, does it have to be the town email, or can we use their personal email?
What do you mean?
Like, is it .gov, or can they use @gmail?
Yeah.
There's htc@townsendma.gov set up.
Point
But
of
can
order.
they also have,
Point of order.
We have a forum where we need to call a meeting to order.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right, well,
so
you, right,
call the meeting to
but
order.
here's the thing with that before, and I respect your point of order. We're having there's a difference between an elected board and an appointed board. You are an appointed board, all right? In order to have votes with the Board of Selectmen, you have to be an elected board. I wanna be very clear on that. So as far as any appointments that happen, it's only between the selectmen in regards to the Historic District Commission. Second of all, if you wanna call your meeting to order just for our open meeting law, then yes, please do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, call the meeting, HDC to order. We do a roll call first, I'll start, and then copy chair.
Blair Colby,
Carolyn Mazekas, Mary Jane Churchville.
Susan Durkin.
We have a new applicant.
I'm not appointed yet, so I didn't vote.
So the second thing that I wanted to talk about was the makeup of the board. I know that with the way it's worded, that's worded in the charter, but more importantly, that's the way it's worded in state legislature, that's on 40C. So what we have in the charter is exactly what's in the state legislature. I guess the importance of this is that I wanted to make sure with the Ethics Commission that we are following what they feel is proper protocol. And they agree that because we're a small town, we have problems getting people in and all of that kind of stuff. Their terms were as long as the commission is making an effort. So making an effort would mean contacting AIA and contacting the Board of Realtors for Massachusetts and just asking if they have anybody that would be interested in it. That's all they would want for that. Otherwise, the way it's worded here, you guys can have, your board made up the way it is, all right? But I do want to stress that as an appointed board, the concerns that, I know I have, when we have any appointed board that comes in front of us and we have questions for the individual, we will at times call the individual and ask questions on what they would like to, work with the board and that kind of stuff. We've done that with both elected and appointed boards. But, my thought is that on an appointed board is an extension of the Board of Selectmen, as long as everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. You're the expertise on whatever area that it is, and it's completely up to you guys. And I respect that. Again, the concern that I had was that I'd gotten a phone call, and it kinda caught me off guard, and I didn't know what was going on until I answered the questions that they were asking. I haven't heard anything back from them, so I assume that the information that was provided to them was complete. Now, as far as going forward is concerned, I just wanna make sure that we're posting for meetings the way that they're supposed to. In your meeting, I did hear, Mary Jane, I think you said that you set yourselves up for open meeting law training.
We had it, we had it.
You did it, okay. And that's all that I think would be the most important thing, is to get the training. And the last thing that I just wanted to say is, what do we need to do to move forward from this? How are we gonna keep moving forward and make sure that we just do business as usual?
I think we have a reasonably good track record over the last 15 years anyway. Nobody's perfect, everybody makes some mistakes.
No, I understand that.
What do you mean by business as usual? Because as usual, we've just had our meetings, we posted at our meetings, submitted the minutes, and had the documents sent to the applicant.
Mhm.
So
That's business as usual.
right, and we have been doing that.
Again, I was an applicant, the town was an applicant
Oh,
for
okay,
a
yeah,
building.
okay.
That's
All right.
all I'm saying.
So, all right.
And the other thing, I think you, and I as the liaison, for the committee, need to make sure you're on top of it. Be just like any other place. Be real diligent with your minutes, getting them approved, just taking them and then not voting on them. I'm not accusing anybody, I'm just saying that's business as normal, so just make sure
Yeah,
you're
got
on
it.
your minutes
Okay.
and stuff like that.
So
Just-
I also would like to clarify what I perceive as confusion between the HDC and the Townsend Historical Society. I think it's imperative because a lot of people, a lot of townspeople, a lot of people who live in the district, obviously, I believe this board too. The HDC, which is the municipal commission responsible for the 3 districts and the 100 properties in those 3 districts. The Townsend Historical Society owns 4 of them, but only has jurisdiction over 1, which is the Townsend Harbor Church. The other 3 buildings are under the jurisdiction of Mass Historic, Historic New England,
And
and,
Mass Historic Commission.
Right.
which are state
Or one of them.
organizations. So when when any application would come through, like, okay, let's just talk about what's happening now. So allegedly, the Cooperage, the Gristmill, and the Reed House, no, churches.
Church.
Those three buildings may or may not come before the HDC for restoration and reconstruction. Were they to come to us as the commission, we are trumped by the state rules. So I don't even know what we would do with the application. We're gonna have to look into that because we don't tell them what to do.
State tells them.
Right, and
Yeah.
to my understanding, you guys have a liaison with the state. When you do get to that, when and if you get to that point, then you would talk to the liaison with the state, and they would be able to help you with what your responsibilities are in that respect.
And all of that is business as usual.
And
All
what?
of that- All of that is what you mentioned, business as usual. So
Right,
you're
okay.
we're aware of it now, you're aware of it now, and we just need to look forward.
Okay, right, so the church, which I believe started this whole ball of wax, is off the plate now because we've already approved it.
Voted on it.
You know, we voted for it and it's going on.
The church didn't really have anything to do with the reason why I said that. It was the fire station and, us applying for the certificate of appropriateness. That's where.
Right, but you mentioned in the complexity of the board that, it was a vision of the Townsend Historical Society that was disturbing to whomever.
Didn't say disturbing, I said expanding.
It was expanding and concerning that we would be imbalanced.
Right. Right.
So-
Because there had been comments that I had been getting in regards to the quorum of the Historic District Commission, was made up of society members as well.
Right, and so the only vision that has been put out there publicly, correct me if I'm wrong, Claire, you're president, is the Old Harbor Church project that's may or may not go forward.
The historic village.
I guess that's what you call it. We call it the Old Harbor Village, but,
Well, yeah, the Old Harbor
Okay,
Village,
so that-
which includes several different.
so that's the vision of the Historical Society.
Correct.
But no other buildings in the town of Townsend have anything to do with that, and so we shouldn't even have to worry about that, correct? I mean, I don't get how the vision got in the way here for the Historical Commission, Historic District
It's
Commission.
the optics is what we're talking about.
Okay, but
When
what?
you're dealing with ethics, ethics says if there is an appearance of, and some people may think that there is an ethical issue between the society and the commission.
Exactly, that's why I wanna clear it up right here at this
Yeah.
meeting, that is the whole point of my speech, or whatever you wanna
Yeah.
call it.
Well, then that's
Thank
the
you.
whole point of why I wanted to be able to do
Yeah,
this.
and I want the townspeople to know that too, because
Correct.
they're not, it's not just here, we get this a lot.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because the words are the same, historic, people, I don't know if it's too
Yeah,
close.
the word historic, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
as far, I'm gonna bring it back to, my only concern is just to make sure that we follow open meeting law, we follow protocol, we follow the state, what the state requirements are. And it's, it's business as usual. I have no issue, with anything other than we need to have updated, information for your members so that we can communicate. Keep your meetings up to date, and then, if we could also make sure that the information gets put on the town website as well, which we can give you that information.
okay, wait, go back, what information?
The Historic District Commission has a page, and on that page, on the town website, it has all the members of the Historic District Commission, and that
Does
information.
that exist right now?
What's that?
Does that exist right now?
Yes.
It does. It's also a place for you to.
Can we upload our minutes there?
Yes.
I can go
Minutes
over
and-
with you at the next meeting,
Yep.
go through it with you.
Do we do that?
Yeah. Okay.
So we upload minutes?
You can get direction from the clerk too, as far as posting is concerned.
Right, I'm posting, I'm okay with, but it's post-meeting that I'm not okay with. We can take our minutes And we ourselves can upload it, is there
Nope.
a site administrator that does it?
Nope.
They
You
go
do
to,
it.
they go to the town clerk, she'll stamp them as received, and she keeps a copy, and then
Yeah.
you can,
You
after
can't
that,
eliminate the town clerk.
No, I
then you can
understand.
post them. And that
Yeah,
way
I
there'll be a
think you have to
stamp on
use your
there
email.
that
So
says
how do I
received.
post it on the town commission website page?
Correct. So we have, what I can do is I'll give you, can you give her the, Harrison's, the, ClearGov?
Email
And then,
address?
yeah, we can set them up also with a, they'll need an account on that as well, to be able to upload and post. Please and thank you.
Now, do you want everything from 2023?
No, you can start from now to present. We have from the old website, I think we have, whatever was on the site before a month ago in archive.
And I do recommend that you discuss at the meeting what you're going to post. I would, obviously, you don't wanna have just one person putting stuff on there without it being discussed on the meeting. So, if you say, we approve these minutes, they'll be on our webpage, or, this is coming to town, we're gonna post notice of event on our webpage, but to mention it during your meetings. It doesn't need a vote, but it should be part of the meeting discussion.
Yeah, that your group approves of it being posted on the website.
So should we say that when we approve the minutes?
That would help.
I know, we never did it.
After the fact, we don't approve till the next meeting.
You're right, but we wouldn't post them until after the thing. After they've been approved, she said that we, right. The board.
And then we wait, we don't interject them into the meeting until when we get around to getting them in the next meeting.
Right.
The meetings are not every week, every month.
Just to be clear, you heard what we did when we started our meetings. We have 4 meetings that we've had. Somebody's taken the minutes. They're typed out. When we come, we all get them prior to our meeting. We review them. If there's something in there that's inaccurate, when we get to this meeting, we'd say, well, we gotta clarify something. And then once it is, everyone has an opportunity to review your minutes and then say, okay, any questions? No questions. Then you make a motion to approve them. If somebody says that, oh, that isn't how it happened, this, and you correct them. Very simple. And then, once they're approved, they go to town clerk, get stamped in, and
But it could be,
posted.
it could be 3 months. and
Yeah.
Well, but it's your meeting. That's, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
just because we have meetings every other week, it's different than, you know, so, but it's in your meetings, you have to approve them.
An open meeting law says within reasonable time frame that you post it. There's no specific, you have to have it in 10 days or whatever. They just say within reason.
That's not an issue, because if you don't have a meeting, you can't post anything.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Should,
the nature of the game. It'd be nice if they were posted a week later, but that's not gonna happen when you only meet every 3 months, so it is what it is.
That's, yeah.
before we move on to the 6:30 meeting, is it possible to move to 3.1 and 3.2?
No, I'm not gonna move them up. We have a 6:30 that we need to get to.
Okay.
Anything else?
No?
We're not gonna adjourn our meeting because we're gonna have another meeting downstairs.
Sure. Yep. 2.2, Tavern 1-day special license application for an event on 7/20 at Birdhouse Botanicals. Wyatt, is that you, sir?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Let's see.
Sorry, I'm in the car right now, so if it sounds a little loud. Sorry.
So I have reviewed the application. Did you folks review
I
the
did.
application?
Yeah.
I know that we still have an outstanding issue for, the payment for that, Wyatt. I talked with Amanda today, and she said that she would, have the payment into us by Friday, by 4 o'clock. So
Yeah, it's been mailed, but if we have to void the check, I mean, I'll just drop it off
Okay.
by Friday.
Yeah, if you could do that by Friday, and what we'll do is condition the vote to say that, it would be approved contingent upon receiving the payment.
Okay.
You okay with that, Teresa?
Yeah. Do you want me to make a motion?
Sure, please.
I'll make a motion that Tavern 13 gets a one-day special liquor license for an event on 7/20/24 at the Birch House Botanicals on Main Street in Townsend, on the condition of payment.
Second.
Any discussion on that? I do not, they have everything except for that payment, so I'm good,
The
so.
only thing I would like to make sure is that last liquor license we gave for an event, the area that the liquor was supposed to have been in really got a little out of hand, so I see the picture, so just make sure that that liquor stays within the premises that is put out, that we've approved.
This one is,
Yes.
this one is
Inside the building.
contained, yeah, it's
Yeah,
inside
fine.
the building.
As long as you don't start going
Yeah.
outside, and, yeah, that's good, I'm good.
This one's contained, we've been at this location before, we've actually had several events in Townsend, but we've been, at this location before. It's certainly contained, it's a pretty calm event.
Very good, that's all I had, just, I'm good.
Okay, so all those in favor?
Teresa English, yes?
Joe Shank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes.
Good luck.
All right, thank you very much.
All right,
Have a good night.
thank you, Wyatt.
Thank you.
Next one is 6:45, but I don't see them on there. All right, so we can go to 3.1, appointments, and we'll come back to, 2.3. So I will entertain a motion to reappoint Mary Jane Churchville to the Historic District Commission for a 3-year term to start 7/16/2024 to expire on 6/20/27.
So moved.
I'll second that. Any discussion on this?
Yeah. I'd like to have a discussion on it. So I guess I always get myself in enough trouble by myself. I don't need anybody to help me. But with that said, I pay attention on YouTube to a lot of the different boards and committees that are having meetings, just so I am up and abreast as to what goes on. What I have been seeing and what I have been following on your board, I don't think, first, Mary Jane, you have the best interest of the town right now for me to reappoint you because of what I've watched, what I've heard, and I've seen, and what I have been being told by people. My real problem I have here, if this continues the way we're going, we are going to lose the funding for the rest of those buildings that need to be redone. And if we keep going that way, we are going to have a problem because we all been in those buildings. If this donor isn't as nice as he has been to do that, those buildings would fall in the ground within a matter of another year or two. That's how dire need. And for what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, it's only my opinion, I'm only one, but I don't think at this time for me to vote to reappoint you back the way it's going. I just think it's wrong.
I'd like to just say something in the supportive area. Mary Jane's, I've been at the meetings, most often attended them. I know she's well respected by her other board members, which is very important for continuity of services to the town. And the application was approved by not just her chair, but also other members that she's currently working are highly supportive of her continuing her work. They all believe, as I do, that she does have the best interest of the town at heart, and I would support this reappointment.
May I speak?
No, this is an appointment. This is just the Board of Selectmen. All those in favor?
Teresa Marsh, yes?
Toshank, no.
Chad Sexton Duranian, no. I'll entertain a motion to approve Eno Calpe to the Historic District Commission for a 3-year term to start 7/16/2024 to expire on 6/27.
So moved.
And I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Teresa Marsh, yes?
Toshank, no.
Chad Sexton Duranian, no. I'll entertain a motion to reappoint Susan R. Gerken to the Historic District Commission for a 3-year term to start 7/16/2024 to expire on 6/27.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Teresa Marsh, yes?
Toshank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes. 3.2.
Can I ask just a question?
Sure.
What's the rules on, since we lost some continuity of services here, what is the rules when it comes to, let's say, the chair would like to reapply for that commission, and we voted his reappointment down, so can he, now there's an open position, can he apply for that open position?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
3.2, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Julia V. Stockwell to the Historic District Commission for a 3-year term to start 7/16/2024 and expire on 6/27.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Teresa Marsh, yes?
Toshank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes. 3.3, I will entertain a motion to reappoint Michael Brown to the Energy Committee with a term effective 7/1/24 to 6/30/2027.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Teresa Marsh, yes?
Toshank, yes.
Chad Sexton Duranian, yes. Okay.
Point of order, please. Since when does the Board of Selectmen not entertain a question from a member of the audience who is a town member and been a town member for all my life to not be able to speak?
That was voted on almost over a year ago. It's recommended by council.
So how does a resident of this town be able
Yeah,
to address the Board of Selectmen? Do
public-
you have to put on the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to be put on the agenda for the next meeting, please.
Yep, I can do that.
And the topic would be,
I'm sorry?
and your topic?
It's going to be the reappointment of Mary Jane.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And thank you for the appointment.
I've got a question on how that's rotating, because we never rotated, so we're 3-year positions, so we all come up at the same time again?
Not everybody, there were,
So it's been changed?
right, there's 2 others that have the different,
Okay.
different time.
Okay, because it was awkward.
Correct.
You know, all going on at the same time.
Yeah, they should be,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think it was intended, but it didn't happen. When I went back into some paperwork, originally it was intended to do that, and it
Hello?
sort of got slipped
So,
away.
yeah, we'll be with you in 1 second.
Okay.
But Susan.
Okay, great. I
what-
just didn't know if I should be muted or unmuted right now.
Okay, no, you can be unmuted, but 1 second, we'll finish this up and we'll get right to you, okay?
Oh, sure, perfect, thank you.
You're welcome. If you could, to see if they can straighten out what the years of the appointments are, and then we can straighten it out, because
Okay.
that has always been
Yeah,
a
'cause
question.
I've been on a long time, and it's always been all of us.
I
Yeah.
know that, and I
So now
appreciate your work.
we'll set it up then.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the next, 2.3 is Let Us Pour LLC for a one-day liquor license application for a summer market event on 7/28/24 at Evans on the Common in Townsend. Did you guys get to review that one as well?
Yes, I did.
Any questions?
Are you guys able to hear me okay? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I just want to make sure that I'm on.
So.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
I'll move the motion to,
Okay, great, thank you.
support a one-day special application for the summer market event 7/28 at Evans on the Common.
Okay, it's a special license application for a liquor, one-day special liquor license.
So moved.
Second.
So the discussion, I did have several emails, I went back and forth with you in regards to this. And thank you very much for responding and getting that information into us. The concerns I have, and this is towards the board, this is at Evans on the Common, and they're gonna rope off on the outside of the parking lot. So
Yeah,
that,
but they did that last year, and it didn't work.
that's why I'm bringing this to the attention of the board.
Mhm.
So what I had asked, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
My name's Haley.
Haley, yes. So I had asked, if they could provide me with a map on their serving area. And, it really, the serving area that they're looking at is, roped off for all of the area where Evans on the Common is, so all around their parking lot. According to what I see here, there's gonna be, and correct me if I'm wrong, Haley, there's a food truck, there's gonna be vendor tents as well. So it's like a little market fair within their parking lot. So I went ahead and I talked to the chief in regards to what his thoughts were in regards to this particular application. He had two concerns. Number one is what you're talking about now, is that, Haley, just so you know, last time they had a function that was doing this, people were getting alcohol and then walking over to the town common and then walking over to the rail trail with alcoholic beverages. So we need to
Oh, geez, okay.
yeah, that was my concern in
And
regards to that.
They are doing it again this year at the same time as the town common event, so there will be an event going on in town. I'd like to see as part of the application, and I didn't see it, that they have to hire, somebody, it doesn't have to necessarily be a police officer, but there has to be a separate individual who's not pouring drinks or not taking anything, that monitors the perimeter.
Okay.
What I
have a, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interject, a suggestion, I don't know if this would help or not, but something that we've done with other events that has seemed to help this issue that we've faced with other towns is we have wristbands that we can supply, and then we know that when they have the wristband, they need to stay in this certain area, and then that other area is roped off. We are very strict with our business of kind of letting people, party people, we're very strict, we let everybody know when we serve drinks that they need to stay in a certain roped off area. We just did this in Leominster where it was the first time they let more of a free roam within the event, but they couldn't go to parking lots. And we let everybody know, please do not leave this area. This is them taking a chance on us with letting you kind of free roam a little bit more. And it was a huge success, so I don't know if that's a helpful suggestion or not. I know that you might have had a poor experience last year, but knowing us, we're very diligent with what we do.
I think part of the problem last year, though, they did have it roped off, but it wasn't monitored, but also there was no sitting place to sit where it was roped off, and it was full sun, there was no shade there. So, it got, if you wanted to order food and drink, it was easier to go to the town common and sit under a tree, it'd be cool, or sit on the bench or whatever.
So, may I got interrupted.
Noelle, our contact person, has said that in order to get approved for the permit, if you would prefer a police detail, they said that they would be willing to provide that.
Okay, so Haley, okay? What I would like to see, because, you know, it's a great asset for the community, great asset for Evans, but a colossal failure last year. Putting caution tape up doesn't solve the problem. You walk underneath it, you walk around it, you do everything. My suggestion would be, and it'll be up to the board to vote on it, that there is actually barricades on the outer perimeter where you're gonna put ropes, put up barricades so that people cannot physically walk out, have one entrance in and out. And I think that's going to be the only way that's gonna be a safe thing. Last year, we were very fortunate that we as a community did not get jammed up bad with the amount of people walking around the streets in the common with alcohol.
And I know.
Is that something that the city could provide, is the barricades? Because that's exactly what we did in Leominster with multiple events we did there, and it was very helpful to have that.
Yeah, and the police chief, that in our discussion, he said that, he would suggest, to have a police, not a police detail, but somebody that is tip certified, that's gonna be able to walk around and make sure that nobody's gonna be leaving the premises. Now, what you guys didn't see is that Haley provided, Sabrina and I, another email with this particular area, a little better drawn area, with signs that no alcoholic beverages beyond this point or whatever, and they're gonna disperse them around.
So there were a couple of them, I believe, there, they had just taped in different places. I think for our best way as the board, we're gonna put our name on a liquor license, and somebody doesn't get run over on Route 13, I would highly recommend we can talk to they can talk to the highway superintendent and see if he can just bring down barricades and they set them up. It's not up to us to have the highway department barricade it off or take it down. But I think the only way that's going to be safe to do this is that they have to be regular sawhorse style barricades put up. Caution tape doesn't work for me.
Okay, and we're for that. The event is in, roughly a week and a half. Is that something that you feel like is possible to accomplish within a week and a half?
I'd be more than happy to go make a phone call from Jimmy and ask if you'd like me to.
Okay, well, I can talk to him, I'm the liaison.
I was saying,
So,
just ask him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that we can accommodate something. I'm only thinking
If
about the
we have
closure up
enough
on
of them.
Brookline, because we've got some closures up there, and we're also using what we're using over on, South Row
Well,
Road.
that's the thing, how many, if
So,
we have enough.
I think I might be able to get some from the water department. So, we'll see what we can do. You have my email address. What I can do, Haley, is, I'll do some checking tomorrow. I'll send you an email, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Yeah, and I just want you all, I'm not sure who everybody is there listening, but I know that last year you may have had a poor experience, but I'm very hopeful that myself and my business partner Emma, we hopefully can change your mind on what happened last year and really bring a more positive experience, because we're very diligent on what we do. We're very strict with the way that we serve alcohol. We know that alcohol is a very, it's a risky thing to have in your town, and we appreciate you considering having us there while you had a poor experience last year. And I'm hopeful that once this is all said and done, that maybe we can come back next year too, and it'll be a more positive experience for you all.
Okay. I appreciate that.
So, as long as we're all on the same page, if we can't come up with enough barricades,
I'm sorry.
they would have to be willing to try to find them to make sure we finish it, because it has to be a solid barricaded off area. That's only my, I think we need to protect ourselves, especially after last year's colossal problem.
So you could approve?
So I'm sorry, I missed who is it speaking that had the suggestion of the barricade? Is that, you had said that you might have a contact where you could help us kind of get that? Is there a way we could all connect maybe tomorrow to try to figure that out?
I am the vice chair of the Board of Selectmen, Joseph Shank. And Chaz
Thank you. Nice to meet
is,
you. My name's Haley.
Chaz is the chair, and he's the liaison to the highway superintendent, so if he will reach out tomorrow, but my only point I'm making is, if we have several roads that are kind of being repaired, and we have a lot of barricades out, so he may not be able to get all of them, but my point is, if we can't come up with all of them, and it really isn't our responsibility to do it, but we're willing to help. Evans is a great business, and we wanna do what we gotta do to make sure we support business. But if we can't come up with enough to do it, then it would be up to you to figure out, you have to rent them or wherever you're gonna get them from, and they do have that, you have to get it done.
So we can put that
Okay,
as.
and we are willing to do the work too, and I'll talk with Noelle, because she has said that who she is part of Evans, that she's willing to help with whatever is necessary to make everybody comfortable.
Okay.
So maybe we can all reconnect
Yeah, good.
tomorrow and kind of make a finalized plan.
I mean, I'm willing to move forward as long as, and so it's done, that way you can tell her how many we can get, and then she can work on, but the day of the event, the barricades have to be up, or if they're not up, that will get shut down. Then just vote on it.
So I think, this is Ross Perry, I'm the interim town administrator. I think the permit should say that the applicant should make all the necessary precautions to contain participants, customers, and protect them, protect public safety, and that we will ask the water department and the highway department to make available what resources they have they can do. But it's
Yeah.
up to the applicant to make the site secure.
And to finish it off, if we ain't got enough, absolutely. So moved.
That works, bro.
Well, we have, there is, we have a one-day liquor license conditions, and on that, number one is one license has been issued, and we'll have the number on the license, from the time frame that you requested. Number two would be the licensee must stock alcoholic beverages within the licensed area. 3 is licensee must purchase alcohol from a wholesaler, importer, much like you put down in your application. Excuse me. Number 4 is attendees cannot travel with alcoholic beverages outside the licensed secured area. The licensed secured area is the defined area of the event, and that would be the map that you provided to us. Number 5 is the licensee is responsible, whether present or not, for ensuring that no disorder, disturbance, or illegality takes place in or on a licensed premises. Number 6 is the licensee is responsible, whether present or not, for enforcing the serving capacity of no more than 100 guests. And number 7 is make all necessary arrangements to have a solid barricaded area to contain participants.
Perfect.
Are we good with that?
We're good with that. I'm good with that.
Teresa?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Teresa DeMoss, yes.
Joe Shank, yes.
Chaz Sexton Duranian, yes.
And may I suggest a copy of that license be sent to the police department, so that if they're patrolling, they know what they're looking for?
Yes, they have it with my telephone number, just so you know. Yes, but you're all set with this. We'll go ahead and sign it, and then you can talk with Sabrina about the details, and then I'll send out an email after I talk with our highway department, okay?
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
You too. Bye.
We're going into executive session. 7. What time it says?
Yes.
Did I get it?
Is Nelson here?
I don't know.
I will look for them,
I'll go see it.
You wanna talk about ambulance receipts, or?
Well, we can take a quick recess.
I just got, give me one second.
I have a couple items in my TA report that might require a vote. So maybe we should do that before the executive session,
Okay.
unless you wanna do it after the executive session.
you do that before. There he is.
I am here, I didn't wanna interrupt anything, I'm just,
You can come in here, you don't have to sit out there.
okay, let me get my bag.
All right.
Checking out your future office.
No, I couldn't, there wasn't a seat up there, so.
Have a seat.
Thank
Joe's,
you.
Joe's sitting here, so you can sit in either of those other two. And we did a quick recess.
Cross countries.
Good to see you too. Lisa,
I
nice
need
to
to
see
see
you.
you again, Nelson.
Charles, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, sir. So we can jump out. We only got a couple other things afterwards, Ross, so we can go into executive session and then come back out.
I can wait if you wanna finish up those items.
Get to see how we operate.
What's that?
I said he'll get to see how we operate.
It's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I'd send him around.
Yeah, I can wait if you wanna finish that up.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No, not at
If
all,
you don't mind,
not at
okay.
all.
That way we can be clean and just cut it off and shut off
Yeah,
Zoom and then we
exactly,
can.
so I'll just sit back here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So I should hold off with this access.
Hey, Joe.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Same man. Sorry about that, gentlemen, ladies.
Feel better?
Miss receipts?
Yes. Just sign this paper and then we'll sign the other ones afterwards. Okay, 4.1, approve uncollectible ambulance receipts for the fire department. Ross.
This is a list submitted by the chief. It's a long list of ambulance fees that were not collected. They've gone through a rigorous process with our collections agency. These include, in some cases, people that have passed away, sometimes people who moved out of town, some people who don't have any type of insurance or funds to collect them. So, on the chief's recommendation, the board can vote to drop those receipts.
Is there an option, I know we had used, in my former job, when we ran into that situation, same thing, somebody died, whatever, that we basically sold the receipts for 50 cents on the dollar to collection agencies, and then, like, if you have a, well, you know what I'm saying, you have $100,000 in receipts, and they give you 33% of it, or 50% of it, has that option been looked at?
I don't believe it's been looked at, but the agency that does the collections has multiple rounds of trying to contact
Right,
us.
then that's the first thing that they do, but then to sell it to an external.
But this, the way I understand it, these go back prior to this fire chief now. And it's several years, it's many years ago, this is from, and, I just think, you know, it's, people are deceased, people can't pay, whatever be the case, and, I mean, I just think we,
Most
or
of-
fire chief, write them off, we write them off.
Most of these are hardship cases, so that I think that we gain little in our results in trying to collect from them. I can assure you that the chief is, as I am, very sensitive to ambulance receipts and using that as a revenue source for other projects, so none of us are writing this off lightly.
No.
I think we've beaten the bush, if that's the right term. Collection agency might do that, but I think in cases of hardship, it may not be the best way to treat local residents.
And I believe, Teresa, that is something that that we would be looking into, but because of the longevity of some of these bills, it's beyond the point where we could recapture any kind of funding for it.
Okay, and I don't wanna put any additional burden on, as you say, they're mainly hardship cases, but I do know that that's a typical way to at least get some money, even if you only get 33 cents on the dollar.
I agree. We've been beating bushes the past 2 weeks. You wouldn't believe what we're shaking out. But, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the uncollectible ambulance receipts for fire department as a write-off.
So moved.
Second.
Moved to second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Teresa Moore, yes?
Essex and Rainey, yes. 4.1, discuss fiscal year 25 budget and possible Isn't that what I said?
You said 4.1.
4.2.
You said one.
I was trying to give him a break.
I know, but that's okay.
No such luck.
I
for
see
me.
who my friends are at this table.
Just keeping you honest, sir.
Right? No, thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, so, Russ, how do you wanna roll with this?
Well, I was gonna, the summary I have for the budget at this point is we're still working on the FY25 budget. The good news is the North Middlesex Regional School District voted on the 9th to lower their assessment to Townsend by $629,252.
Can you remind me of the figures? What was the amount that level funded did we approve at town meeting?
I have that with me, I have it right in the next room.
I have it. You level funded.
Everyone get it? This is like line number 502. Sorry.
502.
500 somewhere.
Yeah, it is. The assessment, for fiscal year that we talked about was 13,796,771.
And okay, and the new assessment is 600, less than that, 629 less than that.
The,
No, what was in the town meeting was the FY25 number.
Okay, what's the new?
the assessment that came in on
Is-
July, that's the July 9th figure,
Yeah,
correct, Russ?
that's $14,362,047.
Correct.
14362,047.
And that's the new assessment.
That's
Correct.
the new assessment. Their assessment from April was $14,991,699. So there's a $629,000 plus decrease from their April assessment.
And that was 1.2 million, the original, was 1.2 from 13.6.
Well, the original deficit from both schools was $1.6 million. And they've taken $629,000 off it.
So
Was the override, I'm sorry, Joe.
So 1.3 million still.
So we've got a ways to go, but
Mhm.
this is a start.
Was
Part-
the override for the full?
Yes.
It
that was
wasn't, right.
It was for
Right.
the $1.6 million
So,
for 2 schools.
You gonna write a check for us, Teresa?
no, I'm just saying, since if the town approved the level funded, and I don't know if we're getting off track here, but could we consider, instead of doing an override for the full amount, level fund and look for an override for the difference?
That's one possibility. That is one, there's several possibilities that we can do. That would mean that we would have to have another election, another ballot vote, a town meeting and a ballot vote.
I think that's the way to go again,
Yeah.
another override.
The other options we have is to look within our budget to see what we can do, or we could say that we just don't approve, we don't accept the new assessment. Am I right, wrong in that?
No.
Yes, I'm wrong, or no, I'm not?
You are correct.
Okay.
But I think if I read, if I'm correct, that brings them down to, the monthly budget that they have to do. And that's already been approved, my understanding, at the full amount. So we're not saving anything. The state of Massachusetts has come back and approved.
A 1/12 budget of last year.
It was last year's budget, not this
1/12
year's.
of last year's
year's
budget.
Okay, I misread the article.
So,
Okay.
So actually, it was the same as what we did last year, to answer your question.
So the way the process works is if the town or 2 towns vote it down, they have 30 days to come back with a new number, which they've done. They did it almost overnight
Mhm.
after the recount, and then they came back subsequently on the 9th with a lower number, the $629,000 decrease. The town now has 45 days to convene a town meeting to vote that number, and presumably the second town will also have to vote it down.
Correct.
If we don't act within the 45 days, it's constructively approved, so they will get their approval, and we have no action. I'm suggesting that we have a special town meeting August 20th to look at revised budgets. If that's the case, then I would suggest we open the warrant tomorrow, the 17th. We close it next Thursday, the 25th. So it's open for just barely a week. That will give me time to have the warrant written up, review it with town council, so we post it by August 1st. That gives us a few days buffer on the required 14-day minimum for posting. I don't wanna get caught up because we're 1 day late getting something done and we miss the posting date. So I'm proposing, and would appreciate a vote from the board, to set a special town meeting, and then we've done this is probably the 3rd time. I hope we don't keep moving it, but we keep getting new numbers from the school, which changes our calendar. So open the warrant on the 17th, close it on the 25th, and hold town meeting on August 20th.
So if we did that, if we had the August 20th special town meeting, could we at that time do a reduced override, not for the full amount, but only for what isn't level funded?
We
So
would
a
have-
greatly reduced.
We would have to do that, and I think Kathy said November, you have to have the election by November, I'm gonna say 18th, I may be off on that.
But we couldn't get it by the August 20th meeting that you're suggesting?
Right, and I think that the town has asked the voters this year for an override twice. As much as I sincerely believe an override is needed, the voters have spoken, and I think we are in a position where we need to listen to the voters this year.
Well, I think there's a huge difference between an override of the full amount, that's full 14 million, than there is between an override for
We
the
weren't doing
additional.
14 million override.
No, it was.
we're only doing.
It was 1.6.
1.6 million override.
And
But
that
there
was
was-
for 2 schools.
But there were
It wasn't just-
two votes. The one for the Neshoba VOTEC was
286.
286.87, and and that failed as well. I think we're obligated to come back with ways to balance the budget.
Cut the budget with amongst ourselves. That's my opinion.
I mean,
Yeah, I disagree, but that we have a right to disagree. I think with the vote being that close, with the reduction in the numbers, I think, that another vote is warranted. You were not talking that it was, like the first vote, that we had, you know, a significant difference between the numbers. So I think just, close the numbers were, I think warrants, that before we start looking and cutting, town budget, adding, maybe trash pickup at a fee, which is gonna cost people more possibly than, the override would, especially with the decreased amount. And I certainly have had a lot of people speak to me, and they are more than willing, town people, and I've heard from a lot of town people, to have a third vote.
Yeah, no, Mr. Chair, we can beat that dead horse forever and ever, and there are a lot of, the town vote, the town is truly divided 50-50. And all we're gonna do is really piss off a whole bunch more people in the community to do another town override vote. We're gonna waste money on all the election. I think the townspeople voted. My honest opinion, we sit here as a board, go through that budget, cut what we need to cut, and move on. And then, when people get all upset and all mad because this service is gone and they gotta pay for it, or that person, we're only doing what the people wished. The override failed. We as a board need to do what people said and move on.
I agree with both of you. But, and this is the big but, there's been a lot of clarifying questions that I've been asking, not only with our town budget, but I've had conversations with the other town administrators and other chairs. There's a lot that's going into it. It's not just our town, it's also Ashby as well. Pepperell has already voted yes. We're not as strapped as Ashby is, but I also have that in the back of my head that I wanna be nice to our neighbors, you know. I wanna make sure that all of our voices, are in this together. Having said that, Ross and I have really poured over a lot of, things within our own budget that we are finding some things that are improving our situation. There are a lot of things that we as a board have enacted and the previous board has enacted that is saving the town's money right now. And this actually is the first time we're gonna be seeing it. So we have to keep that in mind as well. We're not only saving the town's residents money in certain aspects of what we have in our budget, but there are future things that we have in the process, much like your energy project that's gonna be saving a lot of money in regards to that. Our wide area network that we're putting in is saving a lot of money in monthly fees that we're not gonna be paying, that we were paying before. There are other, we are working with the accountant, we're working with the Treasury Department to make sure that, you know, we're getting the highest yield on the accounts that we have that are the high interest payments in some of the accounts that we have. We're getting rid of old bank accounts that we have that we don't need, following what our auditor has told us to do. So there's a lot of things that are involved in what's going on. That's a long way of saying that I honestly feel that we have, I'm gonna listen to the voters. The voters had 2 says. I personally don't know if I have it in me, Teresa, for another election.
Well, I think the concerns that I have is if it hadn't been the recount that changed it, somebody had counted because that didn't count because they used a pencil or a pen or didn't hit the box right,
Mhm.
it would have been, we would be in a different position right now, right?
Mhm.
It was passed, it did pass it, until the recount, and I'm not saying there's a recount isn't why you do a recount, but the vote that didn't count, let's say, or the votes that didn't count were technical, they didn't fill the whole box, or they used the wrong two to fill the whole box, or things like that. The infamous hanging Chad, right, from the Bush administration. I
Florida.
mean, it was Townsend's version of that. That's especially why people are coming to me and asking, like, it's so close, why wouldn't you do it again? That's just not logical. But the biggest reason they're coming to me, and I think they would be okay with it, most of the people that have talked to me, but the biggest concern they have is they don't want this looking for money, ways to cut, to get rid of free trash pickup. They're like, if that was off the table, we'd be fine. But that everything has to be on the table. You can't put, I make it very clear, you can't take anything off the table till we get a balanced budget.
Mhm.
But I think it is clear to most people's mind that if we have to do a fee for trash pickup, that will cost for a much longer period, because it's never gonna go away, than the override would, and be more hardship on our seniors and others in the town than the override could.
So you also have to look at what the school is going through too, because the school is charging fees so that the individuals who have kids in school, children in school, are paying this extra money.
Yeah, those fees
and
were incorporated in my watch 20 years ago, so it's nothing new. We've
I
been charging
understand that,
for
but
the fees.
there's the fees are going up, there's a lot more, and there's that one population that is paying those fees, whereas the other one isn't, and everybody's getting free trash, right? That's, I personally think that, where we are at right now, I am listening to what the constituents are telling us, and they said very, very clearly, we had the recount, this is the second vote that we had, I think we just need to look at our budget and that's what Ross and I are looking on the revenue end of it, and then we have some other numbers that we're looking at, and I feel that we can crunch the numbers and go forward. I don't think that the clerk would need to spend money on another election and all of that kind of stuff. I just don't
We're
think
the only
that's-
community in the area that got free trash.
Yep.
We can't sustain it. We have to cut somewhere, and that's a big number that will help us. Do I wanna pay for trash? No, I don't. But I don't wanna decimate the entire town employees and everybody else, so we've gotta start somewhere to minimize what we need to do.
Mhm.
That's my opinion. So as far as I'm concerned, if we need to take a vote, I make a motion we do not have another override.
That
vote.
wasn't put on the floor. The vote was for that we have a special meeting on August 20th with a warrant open on the 18th and the closing, 17th, I'm sorry, and the closing on the 25th. So I'll move that motion.
Second?
Any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Teresa, Marsh, yes?
Shank, yes.
Chess Sexton, Randy, yes.
I will say, I think an override is needed in the future.
Mhm.
We're kicking the can down the road a little bit, but I don't think the time is right any this summer. With the meeting on the 20th, we run the risk of not getting a quorum and not being able to reschedule before the 45 days runs out. But we can get everybody, the key players will be available on the 20th, not the 13th. And I think we've got to let people know that this is important. We're going to be making tough decisions, and people need to show up for town meeting. And if they don't, then the school gets what they want, and we're still back with having to make further cuts.
All you can do, put it out there.
Okay, the rest of, continue when you get through your agenda.
Do you wanna talk about the closing on the 719?
Well, I did, I was gonna do,
Oh, okay.
I thought we were addressing the budget issue, which is why I
Oh,
brought that
okay.
up now.
Yeah.
I
I'm
can
sorry.
continue if you'd like, or I can wait until you finish.
Why don't we just do real quick, it's the LRTA grant. So 4.3, the LRTA, the Council on Aging has a contract with LRTA as far as the bus drivers are concerned. That is a grant, the town doesn't pay for that. In order for them to keep the 2 drivers that they have, they'd like to have a pay increase to, I think it's $18 an hour, Ross, am I right on that? Again, this comes out of their grant, it doesn't come out of town funding. So the director on the Council on Aging is asking to do that in order to make sure that she retains the drivers that she has, so they don't go to another organization. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the pay increase for the Council on Aging van drivers to $18.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Tuesday, March, yes?
Rochelle, yes.
Test Sexton Duranian, yes. 4.4, update on the town charter. I didn't ask John to come, it was really relatively simple. As you know, we had in our special meeting on that Monday, the charter was returned to us by the state legislature. The revisions were sent to town council. Town council had 4 or 5 different things that he wanted to make sure that got into the charter. Those revisions were really, if there was A, B, and C, we took out B, and it still referred to that as B, so we had to, there were some structural changes that needed to be sent in. So I submitted that to Representative Scarsdale, who then presented it to the committee, and the committee said that, because I'm concerned that they have until the end of July to approve that charter, because they've had it for 3 years. And the reason why I'm going through Representative Scarsdale is because if we don't get it approved, I was afraid the town voted on it 3 years ago, we should have that passed by now. The chair of the committee that is restructuring that said, put those changes in because they are important that the changes get in there. He said that he'll be able to get that approved within 6 weeks because it's really only wordsmithing. It's nothing more than that. So I said go ahead and do the changes, and then it'll come out of the committee. It'll go from the committee directly to the governor's desk to get signed. So we should have within 6 weeks of last week, we should have the charter back with us. Hopefully. 5.0, the ARPA projects. That's one of the things that Ross and I were working on and we are still working on, so I'm just gonna say that, did you guys get the email from Katie with the ARPA projects? Do you have any questions on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Once we start really delving into more of the budget stuff, we can bring those issues up. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys had all of that. And then Ross, go ahead with your report.
Well, this is relevant to Nelson being here, but 2 weeks ago, the Town Administrative Search Committee provided us with 2 names of qualified candidates. Subsequently, the board voted to hire Nelson pending contract negotiations, which is planned for executive session later tonight. So it might be appropriate this time for the board to acknowledge the work of the search committee, thank them for their efforts, and ask them to hold off on any further search, screening or search until we know the results of the negotiations. We don't need to have them working for more candidates if we've got one that we're still working with. So, the board okay with sending a letter telling them thanks, but hold off?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yes,
I'm good.
I agree.
The web migration project continues. There's still a lot of work to update or to migrate minutes and agendas. It's estimated there's roughly 70 hours of work for MetroGov to do. So the board might consider adding to their monthly contract 30 hours for July and 25 hours for August. And the thought is the balance between the 55 and the 70 hours could be picked up as sort of part of their normal business. But we're looking for the board to vote to extend the hours for MetroGov to help keep working on the web migration.
So let me throw in what I've known from our webmaster. When we had the migration done, we were not made aware that only X amount of documents were gonna move over to the new site. Anything above and beyond that, we were gonna have to pay for. So instead of telling them to move everything over and paying for everything, we're doing it this way, and I know that it's a pain in the behind, but I didn't wanna authorize that amount of money for the town to pay. If we can do the work in a more constructive way, I guess, and that means moving all the minutes over, all of the agendas over, and making sure that we have everything else archived properly. I think that was really the big thrust of it. The second piece, Ross, is my questions are, do we have the employees really should be doing some of this work? Do we know that the outstanding work that they're doing, is it work that the employees can do, or is it all?
The employees could do that, but I think they should be focusing on their day-to-day work and posting current minutes and agendas, not going back historically and posting a whole mess of old ones. I mean, those are things that.
Those I understand, I agree with, but I just wanna make sure that everybody's now currently posting what they need to post on their own.
If they aren't, they should, but I would hold off. I don't think it's appropriate to ask them to go back and fix the ones that didn't get transferred.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
We currently have Veronica working as a webmaster, right? No?
She stopped working when we went over to the new site. So we are under the contract with
Okay.
MetroGov.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So is there, to clarify, Russ, they're looking to increase the hours for these 2 months and then?
Well, they suggested there was 70 hours worth of work to be done. And I thought that maybe we sort of spread this out a little bit over 2 months and see if they can absorb some as part of their normal work assignment. See how that does.
Do we have enough in that budget to offset that? Cause the thought is, after we get everything moved over, then that should cut down the amount of time that they're doing it, correct?
Right. The time should go drop dramatically once the web is up to speed. But it is somewhat frustrating now when you go to try to find past minutes and there's nothing there.
Correct.
So,
Yes.
So we gotta get it updated, we gotta get it done, so. Let's move on.
So I'm okay with that.
Okay.
so
Teresa?
a motion to increase MetroGov's hours, 30 hours for July and 25 hours for August to help address the migration.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Teresa, you want to?
Motion carries.
Chess, Sexton, yes.
On insurance, some good news, due to the diligent work from our IT provider and chair of our board. The new insurance company has looked at the way we handle or protect against cyber attacks, and they've said that they've agreed to increase the dollar amount of our coverage at no additional charge. So hopefully that's a claim we won't have to make in any form,
Yeah.
but in either case, we've got a little more breathing room. For this Friday, the 19th, and as you know, Fridays are normally staffed very lightly in this building anyway, and then only until noontime. I think with the planned vacations that I've heard about, there might only be one person here. So the suggestion was to work, that the building be closed on this Friday. If people weren't taking vacation and they want to get paid, they can take vacation time. But it didn't seem that it made much sense to have the doors open with maybe only one person here. And if we agree to that, then they would post a notice on the webpage as well as on the door that says closed.
comments? Got pretty quiet there.
Well, this is not an additional cost to the town. I don't think it's gonna drastically hurt our service because we have people that plan to be on vacation anyway. As I said, Friday is sort of a lightly staffed day anyway at this point.
So, move on.
Teresa?
Okay.
Okay.
And that is all I have. Thank you.
5.2, reports from board liaisons.
The only thing I had was the, meeting with the, historical commission. And we discussed that. I didn't get to go to the energy one, but I know they had some of their questions answered, and I'm trying to, they are having somebody from the, green communities, to finalize that last project that they have out there. So I did check on that as we asked between the last meeting.
And if you could, make sure that you look at the press release that Ross sent to you, because we'd like to get that out. But we could do so. Elected boards, I will say there's a lot of work being done with a lot of our boards right now. I've been to planning, I've also been working with, our grant administrator. We're really kind of cranking out some of the applications for grants right now, which is a good thing. There's a lot of repairs that need to be done. We need funding for it. So I've been focusing a lot with the grant administrator on seeing if we can maybe get some of these. There's some road stuff that need to be done. There's a sidewalk that we need to make sure that we get fixed before school starts at the end of the year. So a lot of good things, I think. Joe, public safety.
Couple things, police department, the police union, police chief's asked me to mention this, and it'll come in front of Ross here pretty quick once he gets all his information, but the police union wants to talk about changing the hours of a work schedule. Chief will let us know when he is ready to talk about it. He'll talk with Ross. It's just gonna be a temporary change for now in hours, because he's short manpower. People are in the academy, and he just needs to get the approval from us, and then bring it to us and come to us to do it. They're changing to like a 12-hour day shift instead of the 8, but he feels it'll be short term, but just wanted me to put that on the radar for the board, and he'll talk with Ross if he hasn't already. He's coming. The building department, everything's going really great. He says the office is running really well downstairs, everyone's working together. He says that, he's got some good news, the abandoned building, bank building in the Harbor Mall has, had an application put in to renovate that building and change it. It's gonna be a, Starbucks, which will be a great income hopefully for the town. So that's all on that. I'd just like to read into the record, just with the fire department, there was a little bit of question and talk about the emergency management. And so we had a little meeting today, and so the Townsend Emergency Management Agency, TEMA, is looking to recruit volunteers for their Community Emergency Response Team, CERT, C-E-R-T. They are looking for people who work well with others and are willing to assist in the event the town's necessity to set up an emergency shelter, direct traffic, and assist during several weather events, loss of water or loss of heat or gas, is an infrastructure and any other emergency situation as needed. TEMA is looking into the requirements for volunteers and how to advertise the need, and then I'll talk about that. Chief Shepherd makes note that the only true fallout shelter in the town is Hawthorne Brook, and the training room at Central Station can also be used. They will review how The heresy will work with the direction of the deputy director. TEMA has set up a cooling center at the Townsend Senior Center on July 15th, 16th, and 17th, so everybody will know that. It's been shared on the TEMA Facebook page, the Townsend Fire EMS page, and the Townsend Police, and like to see if we can share it on the town webpage. Townsend Fire and EMS assumes control of the Townsend Emergency Management under the control of the Director and Deputy Director of the Emergency Management. We just want to put out there that the Director of the Emergency Management is Bill Elliott. They have a number. I won't put that out there. The Deputy Director is Jeff Cormier, and Townsend Fire EMS, and they gave numbers which will be on the website. The Townsend Fire Department has reviewed their equipment inventory and the capabilities should an emergency situation arise. Next Tuesday, Billy Elliott, Deputy Chief Cormier, Assistant Chief Jim Kirk, and myself will take a tour of the bunker at NEMA to see the inner workings of the NEMA can offer the town in the event of an emergency. So we just would like that. Also, there's a form that's gonna be uploaded, and we'd like to see if we can get this uploaded on the Townsend page. It's a volunteer form for the Townsend Emergency Management people, and if they could fill it out, send it. They've already had a couple people volunteering to put that organization together, so that's all I have. And I will submit these for the record.
Yep. And then I will make sure that that gets put up on the website.
And that's all I have.
Okay. 5.3, are there announcements in here, Sabrina? The one with the big clip on it? What's that? You don't have any? Alright. And I'll take one off the cuff here. We are doing, on Thursday at the Town Common is, Kids Country Playground is doing the lawn party for the concert. And, the selectmen are cooking and or working other events, on that. So we would like people to come out and get hamburgers and hot dogs. We also have, I do want to say that we have a fantastic grill that we get from Roger Raposa from our cemetery and parks. He always wheels that out. We get everything going, but that's this Thursday. There's also been a, because of the weather, we've allowed the recreation, the kids at the recreation department to come in to use the Memorial Hall in the afternoons, just so that they're not in the heat and in the weather. But that was, they've done 3 days. Were they here yet today?
Not today.
Not today, but they'll be definitely here tomorrow for that. Yep. Okay.
The summer safety program.
With, yes. That is at Spalding at Thursday at 1 o'clock, correct?
Yeah.
The district attorney's gonna be there. She sent me an email and I thought I did something wrong when I got it. But, she'll be there at 1 o'clock. They're gonna do, I think they're gonna do certificates and awards and stuff for the kids, right? But it's gonna be at Spalding School, at 1 o'clock on Thursday. 5.4, the next meeting will be August 6th, 2024 at 6 p.m. And,
I will not be there.
what's that?
I will not be there.
Okay. And I'll entertain a motion to review and sign payroll and bills payable warrants out of session.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Teresa Amos, yes?
Chaz Sexton Iranian, yes. And I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for contract negotiations with non-union personnel in regards to the town administrator.
So moved.
And adjourn
And not to return to
and
open.
not to return to open session.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Teresa Moore, yes?
Shrink, yes.
Chad Sexton Regan, yes. Thank you, everybody.
Okay if I sign off completely?
Yes, yes, please.